started. As we do have in the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player. This is TY. And right now, it really, if TY wins this, it really would just be that prophecy of apparently we only ever get the same few players in WESG, as he obviously was the champion back in 2017. Can't say that enough. What an achievement that was for him. Went on to have a fantastic year that year at Katowice and all sorts, so absolutely one of the best we've had in the game. And in the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player, we've got Armani. As we set this up, we get this going. And game number 1 of the series. So, getting this underway as we get this started. Game number 1 of our best of 5. And we've seen, obviously, quite a bit of TY's TvZ the other day. Yesterday played against Dark. What a fantastic series that was. If you missed that, I feel sorry for you. And I hope that you managed to fix that and rectify it sooner rather than later. It was really an amazing series. It'll be on my YouTube in a couple of days. It's already on the Twitch VODs if you want to check it out. So yeah, TY, we kind of saw him actually did mix it up a lot. Well, 8 opened with the 2 base time and then played a good mixture of mech and bio on different maps. Would say the mech had the most success. It was tough to say in that game 5 though, because he got Roach all in early, he took way too much damage, and he was able to drag it out with the bio, but obviously he was just so far behind, it was just waiting for Dark to kind of come across and find a way to kill him. So, we're kind of, I don't know what you do as Armani here going into this series, because Armani's absolutely the underdog coming in. He's been the underdog for this entire tournament though. You come in and, first of all you qualify amazingly against Solar, and then you go into your bracket and you face Maru and you go up 1-0 and everyone's like, well, crap, Armani. Then Maru proceeds to do Maru things to you and you kind of drop to the lower bracket. But then you go 3-0 against Zest and you've got people talking again. Now against TY, I mean, this is just such a... I feel like if Armani had like anyone else in this bracket, I think if he got a ZVZ or a ZVP, I'm actually a big believer. But against TY, who is just so solid in the TvZ, I don't think it's going to be a 3-0 sweep, but I don't think Armani's going to get more than a map. And, well, we'll see how it plays. Armani played some pretty interesting macro ZVT the other day as well against Maru, right? The one macro game he played, the one he won, was actually a macro game that was determined by a bunch of lurkers on hold fire positions. So that was pretty fun. That was pretty interesting as our Zerg speed starts up. And, that's the kind of style that a lot of Zergs from Europe have been playing with, Raynor and Serral, so it's maybe something we'll see Armani continue to adopt here today on Ephemeron. So, Link comes in, picks off an SCV to get this started. Link able to get that, and now the other Zerglings just coming up to the top side. As you do see the Hatchery dropping down on the 3rd base, so Hatchery over on the 3rd base, a couple more Hellions on the way out, Tech Lab on the way in the barracks, and a Marauder starting to build. So we're actually going to see TY open with a pretty funky build actually. Going to go for the Hellbat Marauder attack, get that medevac up, Concussive Shell comes down. This is a nice little timing, but look at this scout from Armani. This is so nice. He sees everything. He sees everything. Now, unless he misreads that as a stim pack upgrade early on in this game, you've got to know that this is a possibility, this kind of Hellbat sort of setup here. You've got to know it's something of a possibility, so as we set this up, we'll see how well Armani is going to be able to defend. He is now already dropping down that Baneling Nest, so that is currently on the way down. So Bane Nest coming in, obviously there's the armory out of TY. He's going to have 3 Marauders, 2 Marines to take across the map. I wonder if he does take with 2 Marines, right? Because that'll be a full medevac. Be quite nice for him actually. Full medevac of units. Why on earth not? Hellions hanging out in the center. Baneling that's going to be finishing in a moment or two. And the lair on the way up from Armani in the main base. Here we have the Hellions through the middle of the map. But Marines jumping on the Overlord as another Marauder pops out. Looks like it'll just be the Marauders. Marines are left at home. Armani saw this though, so there's no way Armani doesn't know. But he did just build around 7 drones. He's going to be above 50 workers. He's almost doubling the worker count of TY going into this, so let's see if TY can make some damage happen. Marauders here, they want to slow down those Queens, let the Hellbats go on right on top of them. They also want to try and maybe soak some of the Marauder shots. Hellion's not going to morph into Hellbats right away. They want to kite away from those Banes, apparently. an interesting way to go about it, a little bit different. Now he's going to morph in those Hellbats. He could be able to target down the Bane lanes. There goes one of them. Marauder's able to get that kill, and now there's only a couple left. First one goes off all right. The second one not as great. Marauders in the front are still around, and well, still kind of slowing the Queen, so they can't kite back as easily. Good little split away from the Bane lane there, but it really does feel like we're already reaching our limits of this attack from TY, as Armani will continue to come on in, clean this up, and it's a good cleanup in the end, right? I mean, what does he lose here? Yes, he loses a few Zerglings, etc., but look at the resource loss difference, massively in favor of Armani. He absolutely is going to be coming out of this one in a bit of an advantage. As a few Zerglings continue across the map, we do have a Liberator starting to build up for TY as extra factories will build, so he is going to go mech straight away here in game number 1. But I would say this has been a good start from Armani. He's defended well, he got the scouting information he needed, and he set himself up in a very heavy drone count defense as well, and that's what's so important here. So, puts himself into a really good position as the Hydralisk Den drops down into the main base. So Hydra Den into the main, as we do have a few Hellions out over to the right-hand side. There's Liberator nibbling away at the Overlord. Got some damage done. Hey, what's up, Roddy? Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining us here. It's TY versus Armani. This is our only series of WESG today, but I'll also be covering the Kung Fu Cup $400 weekly tournament starting in a couple of hours. Unfortunately, it seems that Sue has forfeited against Rogue and will not be playing. So a few Hellions up the right-hand side and looking to maybe dive by in towards the third base. We do have a fourth hatchery starting up now as well. Overseer going to be chased by the Viking. So Overseer is getting shot down with Romas. Do you hold that on the top side again? I mean, he's got the fourth base pretty low, but the Ling is going to come in time to make a save, and there's going to be a save. We're going to see Lingbane Hydra, kind of the initial setup here. And that's the mech. It can absolutely work. We've seen Infestation Pit dropping down as well. So Infestation Pit drops down, and that's going to be finished up shortly. I mean, with this kind of, if you play Lingbane Hydra against mech Swarm Hosts, are kind of the way to kind of buffer it up. You get the Swarm Host Locust in front, and then you kind of just go in with very heavy waves of units. You go Lingbane Hydra, boom, boom, boom. But he's actually just going to use that for a Hive. And he's actually going to go into Lurk Den. So it's not even really Lingbane Hydra so much. He's going to play kind of a Lurker style. And again, this is kind of unique to kind of the new patch. So it's one of these styles we haven't seen too much of outside of a few games at home, Story Cup, etc. And Armani really seems to be the only Korean player embracing this in ZVT. The rest of the Zergs just seem to be, going for their, plain old bog standard openers. Just going to be seeing our Langus Hydras. Back over to the right, we do see the couple of extra factories dropping down here from TY as well. So 5 factories going to be rallying to the front. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how these Lurkers work out, because obviously typically you say Lurkers against mech and people would laugh at you. But now they can go up to 10 range once that Hive is in play, and that's obviously why you want the Hive along with the Lurker Den. You want to get those upgrades ASAP. Adaptive Talons and Seismic Spines are both locked behind the Hive. And so you just can't really play Lurkers. It depends, like, you can play a mid-game with Lurkers, right? But against mech, you're not looking to play the mid-game with Lurkers. You want those Lurkers upgraded. In that case, you need to get the Hive ASAP. Just going to be seeing a Ling Hydra Force out on the right side. Moving around a little bit here, looking for some opportunities. Ling's just going to go back around over to the right side, and maybe using the Hellion going to be able to pick off the Zerglings, so that will go down, and the Ling's looking for a bit of a surround there. Hellion's able to roast up a whole bunch of stuff there, so Hellion's having a pretty good time as a few extra Zerglings continue to drop. 3 more Vipers on the way up. That Seismic Spines upgrade still building, and Adrenal Glands plus 2 missiles and plus 1 Carapace. All the upgrades off the Hive tech, so Armani really getting comfortable. TY is really being, I know he's thrown a few Hellions across the map, but this hasn't really been like Hellion Cyclone, right? He's just gone into the much more traditional tank army right from the start of this game. And TY's harassment so far has been unsuccessful at really finding a good chunk of drones. Hellions running in over here. That's not going to be a Uva Chamber in time to block this off, but now the Zerglings arrive, and it's still not looking as though it's going to be too bad a scenario. 3 drones picked up here. Hellions now dead. We do see Armani gathering up in the center of the map. Plus, I mean, drone plans again about to finish, so those links become so much deadlier. But is it enough to hold off this Hellion tank force? Well, again, at some point we have to see the upgrades coming in. Again, he prioritized seismic spine, so he prioritized lurker range, which makes a lot of sense. He burrows up in the center, and I wonder if he's just going to hold fire this and sort of hope TY runs through the middle of the map. TY scans ahead over here, but he doesn't see much. TY, I mean, if he just walks down this ramp and the lurkers start firing, that's already going to be kind of crazy, right? Banelings morphing in from Armani over on the right side. Few Vipers coming over. You see Armani trying to push around this right. Maybe he's trying to bait against some units down this ramp, but I don't see any reason why TY would move out. You know, TY is playing a composition that wants to sit back, defend, and play very safe. These lurkers going to reveal themselves. He's just going to go for it. He's going to push up this ramp. Blinding Cloud's coming down in the first row of tanks. Hello, Armani? Are you crazy? Oh my god, he's just going to go straight up here. Well, now Banelings are rolling in towards that planetary fortress. He is out of energy on the Vipers. The Vikings killed off all of them bar one. I'm surprised that one's not made a faster attempt to get away here. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. I am extremely surprised. He literally just ran into a mech army and traded well. Did he trade well? At least those losses even. Oh my god, those SCVs just got massacred by lurkers. Oh no, what a disaster that is. Well, the tanks obviously do still outrange the lurkers, as those couple of lurkers do pull back, but man, that's actually a good fight from Armani. Suddenly he's up 30 workers, his army is maxed out again, and TY is down 60 supply. Morphing in another round of Banelings, but he might need another round of lurkers as well if he really wants to commit to a fight or so. Oh my god, the lurkers are down here, so the Hellions just going to run on top of those, and TY is like, what's going on? I haven't played against this weekend. Few more Banelings morphing in as we do see +3 missiles, +2 carapace, and now he's going to start the Greater Spire. Well, what a scan that is, what a time, and you actually see this Greater Spire just as it starts morphing, so Broodlord's on the way. I'm not sure if Armani necessarily needs them. These lurkers are going to get in range of the mineral line. This fourth base is just not being allowed to mine. And if you can't mine a fourth base playing mech, you're going to be missing gas that you really need. The Viper comes back in, 2 blind clouds, even gets the Vipers out of there alive, even though the Vikings are there. Parasite bomb dropping down, and that's going to be GG. Armani just shuts TY down in game number 1. Looks really good while doing so, and didn't really look like TY. And behind from that early Hellbat opener, was not really able to recover. He's down 0-1 on the bottom right side. Our Blue Terran, TY, is everybody's favorite to qualify here. But maybe not Armani's. He's the red Zerg top left, up 1-0, and maybe, just maybe, about to qualify for WESG. If he qualifies for WESG, this would be amazing for Armani. What an opportunity to go into one of the most difficult to qualify for events ever. The only Koreans to have ever played in WSG, Dark, Maru, TY, and Innovation in Classic. You know, you're putting yourself up with an elite tier of players if you qualify through here. It's not like he went through an easy bracket to do it. Took a map off Maru down to the lower bracket, 3-0 Zest. Then he would have to take down TY as well. And that doesn't even count his open bracket run. His open bracket run was impressive enough on its own as well. Took down Armani, took down Solar 3-1. That's huge for him. Crazy. Alright, so as we just see the hatchery dropping down in the natural. And that game gets set up, so it's just Hatch, Gas, and Pool Armani, not going to do anything too tricky in the early stages. I have to recall back to Dark's mind game yesterday, where I really loved it. He played from game 2 onwards. He started going Gas, Pool, Hatch, and for 3 games in a row, he made nothing of it. It was just like, oh well, maybe you're going 2 racks. You know, I'm just opening safe. He didn't get aggressive with it. Didn't even build Zerglings. Game number 5, everything on the line. Boom. Roach Rush off the Gas, Pool, Hatch. He's done every single game. TY doesn't suspect anything of it. He's just like, well, you just seem to like opening like this. Nuh-uh. Comes across the map and kills you. And that's kind of how Dark rolls. It was a hell of a mind game. And it just goes to show how these best of 5 series can be so mentally taxing, because you just gotta think, you know, all the way through there's little things you can pick up on. Thing is, I don't think Armani is quite at the level of Dark, where playing a mind game from Game 2 to pay off in Game 5 of the series is something he's worried about. I think Armani looks at this series and says, let's take this game by game. You know, this is TY, he is a monster. And I've got to be really, really careful playing against him. Hey, what's up, Flubs? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Remind me on, I'll get you on the tree. Did you see Zergling Speed? About halfway done. Ripper throwing down a grenade, popping a queen up into the sky, and drone of Armani coming over. A couple more Zerglings as well. 2 more Hellions from TY are going to be finishing up in the main base, and just going to be seeing now Zerglings continue to chase in that Reaper. First link goes down, and Reaper having a pretty good job of this at the moment. So yeah, link speed going to finish momentarily here. We do see 2 more Hellions out up through the middle of the map. Queens getting in position to push the Reaper away, as another creep tumor will drop down as well. Zergling gets killed off there to start, and just going to be seeing our 3rd hatchery building up at the moment. This time, TY is going to go to that trusted battlecruiser build. Now, this is the build that Armani had a lot of trouble with. You know, Maru against Armani. Maru opened game 1 bio, played 3cc. I think Armani did pretty well with the lurkers, kind of like what happened in the first game here, only it wasn't a 3cc. But you know, Armani played lurkers and won. Games 2, 3, and 4, Armani barely got into the mid-game because he just fell behind against the early Hellion battlecruiser attacks. I think in game 4 he made it to the mid-game quite comfortably, actually. As you do see, Cloak started. He was trying to fake out the idea of going Banshees, but the Overlord did see the Fusion Core anyways. But in game 4 he made it to the mid-game, and then he just sort of struggled anyways, so maybe this is the style that Armani will struggle with right now, as TY looks to go to it. I mean, this is what the Terrans have relied on all week long. It seems to be the go-to build, battlecruiser into mech. It seems to be the one thing that the Terrans can just reliably do again and again and get into a decent position in the mid-game, and obviously sometimes into a lead in the mid-game. Seems to be the way to approach TvZ at the moment. So Zergling getting pushed down the bottom side, and just going to be seeing more Hellions, the Reaper coming up through the center. That one Zergling trying to make its way in towards the natural expansion, but doesn't quite get there. 8 Hellions and the Reaper poking around, going to get a bit more damage onto the Queens here, and Queen's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Nice little transfusion there. One of the Queens does start to go low. +1 melee, +1 carapace on the way up. A few more spore cores coming out, and again, 2 more refineries of TY just getting set up and ready to go. Hellions will move from the Hellbats, and there goes the BC teleporting across the map, so that's about to arrive in the main, but Queen's already here. Martin seems to have learned his lesson against Maru. He seems to have figured out, okay, well, this is why I put my Queens when you start to open battlecruiser, and that's a really good bit of damage already dealt. The BC yet to pick off a drone will make its way towards this mineral line now. This Queen wants to get away. He did lose 1 Queen so far, so it's not been perfect as these Hellbats come in, but they get shut down very easily as well. Honestly, really good defense. 2 drones lost. So there's 2 drones, 14 Lings, and 2 Queens. He actually killed off all the Hellbats. I didn't even see that happening. We were following this battlecruiser, so he actually did a really, really good job of just shutting this down. And Armani, once again, gets into a good early game position. He's going to be able to catch one of these Hellions at the front here as well, and you know, just still taking presence on the map. He's got his melee upgrades continuing, so it looks like he'll still play this kind of melee-based comp against the mech. Lair just finished up. What does he do with it? There's the Hydra Den. And I think we're going to see the same kind of style all over again here. So you're going to have a bit of a repeat, as we do have Zerglings continuing down to the bottom side. +1 missile attack on the way up from Armani, so getting that ready to go. +2 carapace coming up as well. TY still just sat out here with the group of Hellions, so they're just hanging around a little bit, and Roof Spine's on the way up on the Hydralisk Den. TvY is off on a little bit of a journey here, so seeing where he can get to. Gonna go after a few of these creep tumors, perhaps. Queen's coming in, pushing those Hellions away, and the Zergling's coming around, and we're going to be trying to head towards the natural expansion, which is going to have a deeper raise, so when you get lifted up there, we'll not be able to do too much. Just a couple of SCVs will drop, and Hellions having a pretty good time at the moment. Juicy PC coming in to pick off just a few more Zerglings. Well, the Marine's just going to nibble its way through that Overseer, so Overseer taking some damage, and as it takes some hits, you see Armani still has some Zerglings around this upper right-hand side. Pathogen Glands on the way out, +2 Carapace, +1 missiles. Yes, he's gone for a different style this time. He's not going Lurkers, he's actually going to investigate Festus from the start. I like it. You don't really look to pick up any units there, right? So you just get into the mineral line, you can run a bit further. You get a, you know, an SCV. Bit of information perhaps. You can see its tank production once again. TvY absolutely steering away from the Cyclone players, which is so interesting because he's played Cyclones like all the other games against Dark the other day, but here today he's just like tanks, Hellions, more traditional mech. It means he doesn't have as much map control, he doesn't have as much like ability to move out. I wonder if it's something to do with the Hydra list, because he just feels as though Cyclones against Hydras don't really work that well. But when people used to make Hydras against Cyclone Hellion, you still used to make Cyclones, because you're like, well, at the end of the day, yeah, I don't get the bonus damage from Magfield Accelerate on Hydras like I do Roaches, but I do still, you know, move in, lock on, hide away, and, you know, trade pretty well. Maybe it's because with the Hydras you make quite a lot of things, and you're just afraid those Cyclone lock-ons aren't going to be effective, so again, you just go tanks from the start, I guess. Very interesting. Well, BC is moving in towards the main base here, and just going to be seeing Hydras and Festus coming up. These battle cruisers be running away now, as that's going to be a Yamato. Actually gets an Infestor with that. Don't know how that was in range. He's going to Yamato down a Spore Crawler here, so he's actually going to take away some of the anti-air. We'll just take one down this Spore Crawler as well. Neural Parasite on the way up, so these Infestors can start neuraling the battle cruisers. They'll teleport back home for the moment. Obviously, if you get neurals, can't teleport away, and then you're in some trouble perhaps. Be a little bit careful with that, as we do see the Zerglings coming around, and already more Hellions getting picked up. As Hellions continue to run, more and more Zergling damage being dealt here. There's our Lurker Den from Armani, so in the end it's the same sort of idea, but a bit of a different way to get about it. Really did just invest into those Infestors first, and getting those up and running, it gives him some options as to what he can do next, I suppose. Rock's going to get taken down. Bringing up the map a little bit. The battle cruisers coming out over to the right-hand side. Zergling on the side as well. Seismic Spine starting from Armani. Just a couple more Zerglings starting to get picked up. Hydras continuing to come forwards. The Lurker Force continues to set up 4 more Lurkers on the way in. 7 more Hydras on the way up, +2 missile attack, about to finish from Armani right now as well, and this BC is now going to be able to pick up this hatchery. That's a kill, not a cancel, so a mistake there by Armani, and that's expensive, 300 more minerals you have to put down. This game Armani's obviously not able to be as aggressive. The map isn't really laid out to kind of push in and to take positions like the last one was, Ephemeron. You know, on Nightshade it really is, you know, you've got a tank line that just spreads across all the bases of the terrain. Where's the, you know, where do you push into this? You know, you're coming through choke points all the time. You know, you're always attacking into this wide range of tanks. Whereas, for example, on the last map, you were kind of attacking through here into, like, these few tanks, and these tanks were out of range. But yeah, the ways to attack on this map is really limited. As we do see +1 vehicle plating. That's going to be about to finish up. And a couple more Vipers, a couple more Hydras being added on as well. At this stage of the game, you can see the extra barracks, you can see the Ghost Academy. TvY wants to start adding in the Ghost because they are always a great support unit, whether you're playing Bio or if you're playing Mech. Now, if you're playing Mech, it's a bit tougher to transition there, but with the way that TvY is playing, which is super passive and super laid back, Ghosts are absolutely affordable. If you're playing like Hellion Cyclone and you're out on the map and you're trading all the time and you're just trying to be active, switching into Ghost isn't good for you because you're putting a lot of money somewhere that then gives up your momentum on the map, and that maybe just leaves you a little bit too weak. But the fact you've built up a tank force from the start here as TY gives him that possibility to go into Ghost, and now allows him to say, okay, well, get those EMPs up, and I'm going to have more of an answer to the Infestors, which I am quite scared about. You know, I'm quite worried about those achieving something here. There's the Hydra Infestor Lurk Force sets up on the upper side. You're going to see these Vikings going to find an Overlord farm. Look at that. Thank you very much. We'll just take those down. So Overlord's going to get picked away at here. Battle Cruisers, by the way, did go down and apparently missed it. Sorry. Bad observing by me. I think they got caught by the Infestors and got neural. You see the Lurkers trying to push their way into some bases with harassment, but that's a lot of Lurkers going down before they actually get to burrow, and these two actually need a burrow. At the same time, got to push up on this top side, and this Planetary Fortress is trying to hold on. There's the scan, and obviously the Lurkers will make their escape there. These ones did burrow up, so he does get 15 SCVs killed. That was a lot lost from Armani, and while he's still maxed out, he's just replacing more than he should have to be replacing. So definitely a little bit of a mistake there. We do have the Vipers going to go and consume up this hatchery on the top side and get some more of their energy back. Finally, this gets cleaned up as well, so TY can retake his 5th base location. Or 3rd base location, I guess. He's got 5 bases in total here, and still mining comfortably despite those losses. 80 workers still in place, so TY still has an economy to work with, as we do see 2 Spires setting up on the 3rd. And there's a scan from TY into the main base. So he does see that Hive is done. I guess he's somewhat trying to look at maybe the Spire again. Hugo's trying to get some snipes off, and what can they line up on? A couple of Hydras so far, haven't really seen anything too significant. He didn't get any of the Vipers. That was one of the big things for TY in the last game, I feel. He shut down when the Vipers first came in. He actually killed all but one of them. And that really delayed Armani's next attack. When the Vipers survive, you can just take them straight back to consuming something. Once they start consuming, boom, they've got energy back, rather than have to reinvest into them and rebuild them up again. Let's pull them back a little bit. A couple of Infestors setting up as well. Just going to get picked off here, so do you have our tanks able to take this down? So tanks able to pick off the Rock's Greatest Spire on the way up. And the Hydralisks continue to get this going. Snipe on a lurker over to the side. Jimmers will start to be picked off. Siege tanks are picking away at the creep. There you go, our lurker's going to start pushing into this, so going for another fight, just goes straight in. Siege is up on top. Now the Ghost gets some snipes off on the lurkers, though. It's a bit of a choke point that Armani's pushing into, and I don't really like it for him. It's a nice blinding cloud and all, but look at the Ghost snipes just continue to drop down. There's more tanks behind this, and especially with the Ghost snipes, it just feels like everything's going to get picked off here. A couple more snipes for the lurkers. And Armani's trading very, very badly here. You can feel it, right? 20,000 resources lost to 15,000. He's losing so many units in these trades, and it's working at the moment. But the problem is he's never getting that Zerg backup, right? He's never setting up into that position, which is like, okay, well, actually I've got a big bank, so I can trade. And he's remaxing, but he's only barely remaxing, so he needs to be really careful. Now nukes are going to start landing. Queens will be able to find this Ghost. It's really important not to let the nukes land on this base, actually, because that hatchery is very close to going down already. A couple of nukes and it will be gone. You see the Hydras, the lurker, back over the left-hand side. Another snipe, another lurker down. Snipes all over the place. He's going to see a couple more Overseers getting taken down as well, so Ghost really putting in the work right there. Ghost really putting in the work, as we do have the extra Corruptors still coming up. A couple more Siege Tanks building, 3 more factories coming up, and more nukes lining up as well. TY, I really like these Ghosts. They've actually been able to kill so much, and look at that resource loss difference. It's just opened up another 2,000 to 23k to 16. Obviously, these Ghosts are so frustrating to deal with. How is that? What? Hello? Overseer vision range? That's insane. I know it's sieged up and all, but like that's still insane. Caught me off guard. So that Lurk is able to clean up that Ghost there, and Well, now still pressing forwards. The Broodlords continue to come in. The Vikings continue to fight against the Broodlord here. So some damage being done. Transfusion is going to go down the Broods, and well, those Vikings won't really do much at all. So TY attempting to take these bases, not having the best of luck. So a few drones going down. There's just a Liberator setup over here. The Liberator's picked up 18 kills, so it's had a fantastic time harassing. As TY is actually splitting up his armies, sending a bit of a, well, a good chunk of it over this left-hand side. Investor's already in some trouble as they walk into attack range initially. Hellbat's wanting to go up that ramp, but the luck will hold it off as the Zerglings, well, the Planetary Fortress will deal with those on top of them. These Corruptors are just flying through, and the Ghosts just have a field day. Snipe after snipe, and oh my god, Armani just lost all of his Corruptors for free. What a disaster. What a disaster. That is not what you want to have happen there at all. And that was the Hellbat tank in the corner, just kind of hiding away. You can see the Broodlords coming in, dropping down a few of these Broodlings. They're going to find this army. I mean, obviously the Broodlords not really anything to fight against them here. This little chunk of army. You see the core production is already on the way. So TY knows this is a threat. He knows he's going to have to get a way to deal with this. So, yeah, setting up to that. Setting up to that. Now we do see a couple more Vikings again, a couple more Ghosts again. Continuing out here. We'll line up into the center of the map and we'll be looking to try and land on a few of these queens perhaps. Does Armani see this? Oh my god, he doesn't see this. A Terran's wet dream. It's kind of funny because queens are so good, I even expect them to survive a nuke straight on top of them. And yeah, it doesn't. We finally found the counter to queens, guys. Just nuke them. Either kill everything in the skies, they defend everything on the ground. Just drop a nuke on them, they'll die straight away. The answer's been there all along. Just play like TY, nuke the queens. Hattrick goes down as TY's continue to defend bases. Again, over time here, you really have to worry for Armani. We've talked about the efficiency in this game a lot, and it's only getting worse. We're now up to, what, an 9,000 resource loss difference? It's increasing every single fight, which means that unless Armani gets a base that TY doesn't, he's going to lose this game. Right now, he's actually losing bases. He loses this one on the bottom left-hand side. You can just see the comfort difference in terms of efficiency and how much, you know, Armani has to rebuild versus how much TY has to rebuild. TY actually has a bank, even though they've been on similar economies. Their incomes have been up and down, you know, even Armani having a lead for a lot of it. That's why TY has more of a bank. He's just been trading that much better. He doesn't have to build as much every single time. Another nuke going to line up and going to go towards a couple of spine crawlers here, so I'm just going to be seeing that happen as we are going to be having a few infestors rejoining the battle. Here we go, Ghost, Thor, Tank, all of this pressing forwards. A couple of siege tanks are going to start sieging up here. Going to keep on pushing forwards. The Ghost's already looking for something, and they're going to start with a nuke out towards this top hatchery. So that's going to get a chance to snipe down a few Broodlords, actually. A couple of Broodlords go off, and that will cancel the second half of the snipes. These nukes are going to land. Units do not get there in time to defend it, and that is a dead hatch. 9 drones along with it. And it does feel like later in this game, Armani really is struggling to just deal with the TY's plays all over the map. But he does make a good play here, takes down a command center with the Corruptors. He's able to deny a base of his own, but yeah, it's just a little bit too little. I mean, then you lose all the Corruptors, right? So all that hard work is just like, you know, is actually efficient for TY again, because you shouldn't have to lose 8 Corruptors trying to take down the Planetary. So a few more Thors out in the center. You're just going to be seeing the Vikings going to start pressing forwards, and well, with the Thors here, the Broods obviously do not really stand much of an immediate chance. The Thors actually trade very well against these Brood Wards, and it's really the Infestors, I think, that could maybe do something crazy. A couple bundles on the Vikings and Ghosts, get some murals off on the Thors, but it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really, really difficult. And it looks as though we're kind of just, he tries to hit the Ghosts initially. The problem is he can't really get in there with the Infestors because of the EMPs, and TY knows that's what he's waiting to do. So when the neuroparasites do come down, it's so minimal. It doesn't really have much of an impact. He scans and he will start to work his way through those infests. He actually hasn't worked his way through the infestors yet. The ones that are neuroling, but when he does, this is going to end the game. TY here on Simulacrum. Starting us off in the top left-hand side is our blue Terran player, is TY. Able to carve himself into victory in that game. And on the bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg player, it is Armani. Tied up 1-1 in the series and getting ready to go into a game 3 right now. First Reaper will start. So Reaper expansion to get us going. Here on Simulacrum, it's a bit of a smaller map. You know, moving across this one, it happens pretty quickly. I really feel like if you play on this map, you want to play something that can... I don't feel like you can just sort of sit back as much on this map as TY almost, because Armani can do a lot to punch you a bit more, you can arrive a bit faster. I feel like that sort of lurker pushing can work as well, because where's TY going to expand to? Maybe probably down here is the 4th base, right, and then you're defending across this front. It's a little bit tougher for TY. So I feel like this map doesn't really lend itself to just sitting back, taking a bunch of bases and just, you know, mining away comfortably until you get late game. So should have to do something a bit differently here this time around. Reaper on his way down through the natural. He's going to be picking away at a couple of Zerglings already, so let's already do some damage. These Zerglings going down, reactor finishes up, command center about to complete. And again, the Overlord from Armani just coming through the top side. See where that can go. Both these Overlords obviously looking again for a scout. TY is again double gas, going into that starport, and well, he obviously opened game number 1 with the Hellbat attack, but he is actually making Marines, so maybe he goes for like the Marine Hellbat version, where you go for like 2 or 3 Marines in the medevac and bring those over with the Hellbats. A little less committed because you don't spend the gas on the Marauders. Now he just wants to get a Marine or 2 up to deflect the Overlords here. See what happens. Starport's now done, so the decision's about to be made. No second Marine, probably a Fusion Core, and a Tech Lab on the Starport for the Battle Cruiser. So yeah, not going to be that Marine Hellbat attack. As you just see the couple of Queens coming in, going to turn those Hellions away. Obviously the stage Hellions don't really want to dive by. Just 2 of them, it's very difficult to make something happen. As our Fusion Core is about halfway done, Tech Lab finishing on the starport, and again, Hellions the Reaper down the bottom side and trying to poke in towards those couple of Queens, looking for some damage. Let's see a few Hellions out here from TY hanging out as well. 3rd hatchery dropping in. It's about to finish up. So Armani gets the scout again. It's really nice for him again. Game after game, he's figuring out what's going on. So again, he knows about the battle cruiser opening. I wouldn't really say the battle cruiser was that crazy last game, but he does cancel his lair to build an extra queen. So he decides to delay the lair, get extra queens, help him with this initial defense, but that obviously then delays the rest of his tech for the game. We'll see how he likes to try and hold this off as we do have the Queens up the right hand side. Hellion is trying to come in. Queens will back away themselves here, and TY going to make a movement coming around. So Hellion's having a good time. Queens from Armani are going to come over, and Hellions get pushed back. No opening being given here by Armani, and that's what you need to do. You cannot let these Hellions just get in and kill 15-20 drones, which is kind of what happened a lot for Armani against Maru after game number 1. So you really need to be a bit careful with this as these Hellions trying to come in again. A couple more Hellions up through the top side, and +1 melee, +1 carapace. Well, those upgrades coming through as the BC teleports into the natural. Queens are not gathering together this time, so immediately this is more damage to CY, 3-4 drones. Surprised he didn't get the extra one on the gas there, but now moves up towards the 3rd base, where the Hellions are going to start shooting up, while the Zerglings are here to turn those around, as this BC will get the work he can. killed off a little bit higher. Now the Hellions are back in. The Zerglings a little bit out of position. 7 drones killed here initially. Quite a few Zerglings. A much better opening for TY at the start of this game, number 3. And now, as extra BCs come up, he's already got that little bit of damage done. It's going to become that little bit harder for Armani to keep on defending, because we've already lost a few units here early on. Especially now, he's going to be turned around. +1 melee, +1 carapace. We're going to be finishing on those Evo chambers, as we do have the Zerglings in the bottom left going to continue up towards the natural. So there's actually an opening here. He's just lifted off the orbital, so the Lings are going to go in. Let's see what TY can do to minimize this damage. If he doesn't lose too many workers here, this is really good for him, because obviously he's going to clean up all the Zerglings. Wow, he's not going to even lose enough workers to get him to show up on the side of the screen, is he? Really good defense. For Armani, that's an absolute disaster, because now you've invested into those Lings, and they have done nothing at all. This was probably better for TY that they got in there than if the wall was actually there, because if the wall was there, they would have just ran away. Now he actually picks up the kills, and again, barely loses anything in the process, and already that resource loss difference is opening up. In a game where Armani doesn't really have a worker advantage either, because he lost a few workers as part of them resources lost. Fellow Pre-Igniter starting up on the tech lab of the factory. 2 tanks on the way out. Do you see there's a couple of BCs from DY heading down to the bottom side of the map? The way they go off down to the south, we do see the grooved spine upgrade from Armani dropping in. And the 2 battle cruisers together. Already just going to find themselves, well, that's an overload that's just out in the open. And when there's battle cruisers up, these are sort of things that you probably shouldn't really have here, right? Because you kind of know it's going to be mech. You're not really trying to spot for drops. I mean, maybe you want that information that the BCs are coming in over here already. And Queen's on the way to the main base, and the BCs took a turn down to this low-grad pork, and so Armani is losing even more drones. Well, that's 5 more workers. He's going to lose a Hydra or 2 as well. Transfusion on the Hydra, maybe. It will go down. Second one. Nice. Good save on the Hydras, but it had to be. But now the Hellions are going to arrive on the 3rd base, and boom, more drones going down. And it's a barbecue. Some unloaded drones, and a lot of them. 17, 19 workers here. Into the 20 kill market. You know, there's actually just no drones left to kill almost these Hellions. They're even going to kill Hydras, because their blue flame does bonus damage to light. Puts them in a great position as well. And you just have the couple of BCs going to be able to drop a couple of Yamatos on Queens as well. Teleports out, nothing lost, and Armani is truly struggling at the moment. Hive is on the way up on this main base. So getting that Hive set to go, we do see another, the Lurker Den. Gonna drop down. Armani going to try and play the same style. Again and again and again. I mean, honestly, it worked kind of well in game number 1, but the problem is, game number 1, he defended well. In fact, he defended beyond well. He defended superbly with an amazing drone count. In other games, he's taking damage, he's getting behind. TY's putting himself in positions where Armani's going to really struggle to kind of stay in, and you can see PC showing up, dropping the Yamato, throwing off the Hydra, teleporting out. Just at this point, the BCs just keep up picking up efficiency, right? I mean, Armani's going to do the same as last game. Infestors out, maybe probably get into towards Neural Parasites so you can try and neural those BCs. That's how they went down in the last game. And it is a good way to shut them down. But it's such a big investment when the Infestors don't do too much else otherwise. It's so crazy to me, because the other day TY was building so many Cyclones, and yet, you know, now, the day after, he's just building pure Hellion tank. Doesn't bother with Cyclones at all. That's actually crazy to me. When we get this around, the Hellions will fall. Another Viper on the way up, plus 3 Carapace coming down, plus 2 missiles. Ghost Academy is going to be finishing up here from TY in the main base. Again, that's set to go. And obviously a few ghosts going to start coming out here. Same as the last game. A lot of the moving parts here just look very similar, but TY has absolutely put himself into an advantage. So I wasn't sure TY could do the same kind of style, but honestly right now it's kind of working quite well. This is absolutely an opening down here, right? Like, this base feels very exposed. But yes, to get up here, you have to kill off these rocks, and it's basically, that's the only way you attack in, because this pathway is kind of covered by these tanks. I'll need to find a few more Zerglings out in the center. Hydra Queen Army. Continue to move around. Hellion's getting quite a few Zerglings right now, and the Hydra's again able to come in for some damage. Enhanced shockwaves on the way up on the Ghost Academy, so getting that set to go as well. Now, 5th Command Center here from TY going to be on its way up, so again, 5th TvZ ready to roll, and Hellions are able to get rid of a couple more creep tumors. So a couple of creep tumors going down here, and Zergling's trying to come forwards as well, but again, the Hellions doing a good job to turn those around, push those away. No problem. As these VCs teleport back up to the left side. So Armani maxes out at least. You know, he's survived this long, but obviously TY's yet to really put the first attack on him. This is the first time TY moves out in the game. He's already setting up lines of missile turrets so he can help himself against Vipers, etc. And looks like all he'll do is go towards the edge of the creep here to siege up. So TY to the edge of the creep, starting to siege up right now. Let's see some Ghost Hellbat action to pick away at a couple more of these creep tumors. So tumors going down. Bottom of the side, these couple of overlords hanging out as well. More scans dropping in. Just looking to see where you might want to go for. There's the BCs getting neuroed, so they're going to Yamato each other, and then they're going to, well, their teleports on cooldown already, so they're just going to kill each other off. Problem is you don't actually have infested Terrans now, so the best way of killing these units is to actually just make them kill each other, and finally the Hydra show up. Usually you just drop like a bunch of infested Terrans and they die in the first neuro. So I can do that a little bit differently nowadays. As we do have the army continue to press on forwards. Regulus trying to press on in towards those tanks. It's an insane tank line, by the way. It's like that checkers, right? It's like there's a gap between each one of them. Apart from this one. This one's doubled up. It's been to the other end of the board and back. A couple of EMPs finding the investors and the snipes as well to finish them off. The only two that had energy left just got sniped down. My god. TY is putting on a clinic right now in this mech play. Now Armani has a bank, but a lot of it's minerals. And he's going to need it because this upcoming fight is already looking like TY is going to have a fantastic time, right? Infestor's out of energy. Lurker's not really in any sort of position. TY has just been slowly pushing back with this one attack. This creep spread's being pushed all the way back and all sorts. Couple drones go down here now as tanks get in range. Vikings still picking away at overlords. Just want to send the Vikings all the way down there just in case some Vipers show up. TY will get counter-attacked, so he's taking a long time to push, and you know, his punishment for that is Armani says, well, in that case I can send units up here, and TY has quite a few tanks setting up, a couple of snipes on the lurkers, and we'll get the shots with the tank to finish them off. Man, even when TY is just like almost not quite getting anything done, he finds the best possible scenario. The bottom side base goes down, so to base for base from TY's perspective, he should be quite happy with that. And as Balin Speed finishes, we might just see the commitment to a fight. A couple of Vipers to start this off will abduct in 2 siege tanks. I mean, the Balins already went down though. So the Balins have already been used up. That was actually what I was kind of waiting on for the Armani. I thought the Balins might be able to get in here and maybe make something happen with Bane Speed, but now they all went down. 64 more Zerglings being made, trying to use up some of that mineral bank as a nuke. He's going to line himself up on towards this base. A couple of ghosts will go down there. I don't know why you have 2 ghosts over there, as we do have the Hydras on the top side. Not going to get very far at all. Hellbat's able to make pretty quick work of that, and the Infestor's just wandering into this too. And Armani just went from completely controlling game number 1 to being in so much trouble here in games number 2 and 3. Feels like he doesn't even know what he wants to rebuild right now. He decides on 23 Hydralisks, but the Hydras haven't worked for the last little while. Why would they start lurking now as full energy Viper sniped out the sky? Another nuke to line up onto this base to start putting an end to this game. nuke's not even needed. Tank's getting the kill. The nuke has come down as the Hydra spawns. He doesn't even get the cancel on most of those Hydras and the money back. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. And it's one-sided, honestly, as the Italians hitting this hatchery on the top side. Working their way through this. Here we go with a bit of an army from Armani. He might try and contest this, but now his bank is really almost gone. 1,500 minerals, 1,000 gas. TY already had that 9,000 resource loss advantage. Last game it took him like 10,000 more resources to get that sort of efficiency. Not this game. These Hydras find a good opening, right? And they start to get through. Good EMP on the Vipers, though. So Vipers can't connect on the tanks with blinding clouds, and that means this is the end of this push. You just can't keep going forwards. Tanks are going to kill way too much if you do. This TY leaves one to go astray. There's a nuke lining up somewhere. I'm not sure what's up here. Top right-hand side is going to land for a couple drones and some damage on the hatchery. So TY just using that as a way to keep on harassing. He's going to pick up the trainer. Attempts to rebuild a base over here as well. Overlords are going down to the point where actually we're getting supply block for Armani now. 152 over 176. You can't max out without rebuilding Overlords. That obviously doesn't really add up in his favor either, as he does finally get rid of the ghost in the top right-hand corner. Now pulling back up through the middle of the map. Viking, tank, ghost coming on in, and a couple of snipes dropping down, so the Queen's going to get picked off. This Hydras and Bane's still pressing forwards as well, so trying to get a little bit more done. The tank's still firing. A lot of these Hydras getting taken down here, actually. On the top side, TY loses the base, but Armani types GG because he... And see what will happen. Can TY close us out? Can Armani fight back and take us to a Game 5? All your questions answered right here in the next 20 minutes or so. Top left-hand side, our blue Terran player is TY. And the bottom right, our red Zerg is Armani. Alright, so refinery on the way up, getting that going, and it's going to be gas first from TY. So obviously already looking towards some sort of, tech-based build here as the game goes on. Barracks on the way up, reducing the overload from Armani, starting to come up the right-hand side as well. Armani opens with the hatch gas and pool. Get this started up, get this ready to go. And obviously, on the other side of things, TY is doing his regular build order for the moment. I mean, first minute and a half for this TvZ. One tried on. It's a great mech map. It's as simple as that. It's a good map for mech. It's same as Nightshade. You can set up a lot of bases. You can sit in front of them, and you can just defend them so very easily. You see the SCV coming on down. How does it affect the bracketing since Sue qualified? Sue didn't qualify. Sue qualified to the closed qualifier, and then won his first series, lost against Maru, and then decided to forfeit against Rogue. So it just means Rogue qualifies. So Rogue has just qualified to WSG. Easiest qualification of his life. He just showed up for the match today, and Sue did not. Sue did not. So yeah, again, really unfortunate to lose Sue, but I mean, he made the decision to go Nation Wars over WSG, I guess. I mean, it's a tough one, right? Like, Nation Wars, you're almost guaranteed to get some money. WSG, it's like, well, first I have to beat Rogue, and then I have to make sure I perform in the event. And You know, maybe Sue wasn't so crazy about going to WSG. Maybe he doesn't believe he's got a good chance of winning it. If he doesn't think he's got a good chance of winning it, maybe Nation Wars is actually fairly similar money. Reaper having a hell of a time. A drone, 2 Zerglings. Great control on the Reaper, and even looking for another, but Armani will say nope, not allowed. And would you believe it, guys? It's the fusion core. Whoa! Who saw this one coming? You would have thought. Yeah, fusion core. I mean, it just seems like this is TvZ right now. We're not going to see any bio. We're just going to see mech off the battle cruisers. Very interesting. I mean, for me, this is like we just started WSG qualifiers, right? And suddenly all the Terrans were like, you know what? We haven't been playing BCs that much. We've been saving it for this qualifier. Now we're just gonna play it every single game, which is crazy. So a few of the Hellions just going to be hanging out. As you see the Hellion pulling back up towards the top side. Valkyries are starting up from TY, and you have the Roach Roaring dropping down in the natural. So again, now ready to go. Zerglin is able to grab the Reaper over to the right. So Roach Roaring we've not really seen from Armani, right? He's not really built any Roaches. He's been playing like a Hydra style up until now. So Armani gonna have to try and, you know, he kind of has to try and change up, right? What he's been doing hasn't been working. So he's gonna play a different style of play now. He's gonna go for the Roaches, and I wonder if that means TY will actually build up some Cyclones this time around. Because he hasn't been building Cyclones, and maybe that was, again, because of the fact it was just Hydras and Lings. Maybe now he will build some Cyclones, because they do trade so well against the Roaches. So it's going to be seeing the Hellions. Back up the left-hand side. Ready to bring this down here as we do have the Hellions morphing into Hellbats. So the Valkyries in the natural as well. Just watching the Hellbats come in. DC's kind of unprotected. Undefended at the moment, so 8, 9, 10 work is already going down, and TY gets a very good start to this. 13 workers down, and 14 still adding up. The Hellbats are still here as well. And it looks as though TY is having a very good time here. Having a very, very good time here. You're going to see the Queens, the Lings, coming in, a couple more Hellbats picked off. The Valkyries will pick off an Overlord as well. And Armani is supply blocked on top of the 16 worker losses. Hellions coming around. Valkyries, a couple of Hellions coming back up to the top, and obviously TUI will just take a moment to repair and take his third base location. Armani, well, he's going Ling Roach, but again, that's so many workers to lose early. And Hellions just moving around a little bit. Queens dropping down, some more creep pushing out over the right hand side. We're just going to be seeing Yamato Cannon on the way up here from TY. Battlecruiser starting up as well from TY, so getting that started as our barracks going to lift up from the reactor, and yeah, just a few corruptors on the way down from Armani. This one fly attack coming in on the Spire. And again, the TvZ will just make their way towards this base. This hatchery going to start taking some damage to start. Taking quite a few shots, and got the corruptors popping out. They'll be able to turn the VCs away over to the right hand side. I mean, this time it's the more traditional corruptors to defend against the battlecruisers, right? So this is kind of what you expect this to be. Yamato's already done, so the first two VCs BC Yamatos go off, and first 2 Corruptors already go down. TY. I just feel like saying TY's name a few more times because it feels like he's doing pretty good, you know. Do you see the couple of mules dropping down? Armani is building in the back, so it's going to be double upgrades here shortly as well. And yeah, I mean, you can see actually TY just has the same plan. Hellions tanks build up, and you know, at some point he's going to start pushing. So puts himself in a good position early. He's going to play aggressively with the BCs. Obviously, can teleport them out, and then eventually just go and continue for the larger fight. So that's where we're at the moment. You have a taking a bit more damage, a few more Hellions coming over. Those Corruptors out in the center. And 5 Swarm Hosts on the way up. 10 drones, Nidus network, all of this getting going. Nidus went with the Swarm Host, so it really is completely different style from Armani. TY was masterful at dealing with the Swarm Host of Dark the other day, though, so I'm not really worried for him right away here. See how he does. Again, he doesn't have Cyclones, though, and I actually feel Cyclones are quite good in this scenario. So the Cyclones are also very good against the Corruptors, and against the Roaches, and against, you know, catching Swarm Hosts too. So, you know, the army that TY is playing is less mobile than what you usually play with this mech. So in that way, you know, in that regard, maybe I am a little bit more worried for TY. Maybe that's how Armani is going to try and break this down. SCVs will fall to repair the starport, and it will be saved. Of course, one another BC still building up. TY is not slowing down with that battlecruiser production at all here just yet. So TY keeps the battlecruisers coming. Well, this Nidus from the top right-hand side is going to finish up these Hellions of TY. Going to go running over to the right. Corruptors in the center of the map, and Macfield Accelerator on the way as well. Nidus gets taken down to the left, so, well, I mean, then there's the one on the right already. The Hellions here should be able to get here and help out. They do have Blue Flame, so one of the things about TY's build, he gets Blue Flame pretty early. And Planetary takes some damage, but not enough. Repair is good. And obviously, as you kill off some of the Lotus, the damage output decreases. Corruptor's going to make a play onto the starport. Starport's going to leave. I mean, at the very least, it's forced to cancel on the battlecruiser that was building right. And these Corruptors are actually going to try and chase it down. That's very brave of them, because it feels like it's not going to be too long until something happens to just pick that off. Roach is out in the middle of the map, which means the Hellions find themselves a jackpot here. A mineral line without any real defense. There's also Hellions over this side as well, so certainly Armani is going to be losing his drone count. And that's already 14 drones down. Roach is finally starting to respond. 19 workers killed, and that's what TY wants right here. Able to pick up 20 workers of damage. Obviously, this Nidus network picked off by the battlecruisers, and we are going to see a few more Corruptors on the way out, as we have those as the real way to defend against these VCs. But right now, it's the Hellions on the ground, just the Roaches out of position in the middle of the map. The Hellions get around those Roaches, and here we are now, with this Roach army back out up into the center of the map. Corruptor is going to be able to caustic spray this Planetary Fortress, so Planetary taking quite a lot of damage. This one might go down, actually. Not enough SCVs repairing it. It's not here in time to turn this away. There's the Cyclone starting to come into play. Like I said, it's very good. Well, they are very good against these Corruptors as well, so they're actually kind of a nice addition to the army. TY lifts up what was maybe going to be his 5th command center, and he just puts that in the 4th location. So it does slow TY down a base for a while here. Man, Armani is not maxed out and he's out of gas, so he needs to fix that ASAP. Remember, he's just been losing drones this game, so his economy has never really been where he wants it to be. More Nidus is dropping. There's still this Zergling top right, so that's another Nidus that can come down over here, and obviously then you can swarm host over towards the Planetary Fortress again. Going to get picked off, and see how the Cyclone continue to press up. Just want was going to pop out, and they are going to go, and oh, Swarmers get denied! They don't get back in the Nights network. That's kind of huge, and TY doesn't get there in time to punish them? I don't think so. Ah, that's a shame. That's actually a really nice play by TY to shut down the Nidus. It's one of the things that actually is nerfed about the Swarmers Nidus, right? The Nidus load time. And in that scenario, it actually cost these Swarmers the ability to get back inside. Cyclones lock onto a hatchery here. Scan maybe. He's fastest, so you've got to be careful. Isn't going to go for it. He's just going to back away. He's got it low though, so he can come back again later. It's a base you're going to have to pretty much always watch out for now is Armani because it's such low HP. Cyclone's going to escaping away from the Lings. And again, it has just been a reaction from TY saying, okay, you're playing a Roach style, you're playing Corruptors. I'm going to switch into more kind of like a Hellion Cyclone army and kind of play this out from there. And as he gets lock-ons, they are just free pickups basically for him. As a couple of bins actually going down in range of the Cyclones. So again, some splash done. A couple of units trying to feel away towards the mineral line. And a bit of back and forth, and a few SCVs will drop. It's something for Armani, but it again just feels like it's costing him so very much. But he is trading better in general this game. He's up about 3,000. He's only 3,000 resources lost behind, which doesn't sound great, though, but it is better than it has been. He's going to run Lings up towards the Cyclones here. Loca's going to try and come on in, and a couple of Locals going to continue getting picked away at. Siege Shank's firing, and Loca's going to do nothing. Corruptors turned around by missile turrets. The Cyclone lock on to pick off another one as well. Great continued defense. So what does Armani need to do here? I mean, at this point, I think it's very apparent that what you're doing isn't really working. Maybe that's why the Infestors come into play, because fungal growths as an addition obviously help a lot. I always personally love the Vipers against this kind of style, because your ability to just yoink in a whole bunch of units is always great as well. You know, yoinking units in goes a long, long way to helping out. Plus 2 ship weapons, plus 3 vehicle plating. And you see 2 more starports being added on as the missile turret production continues. Cyclones here, gonna get a Roach and probably deny the Nidus. Able to land this up in a moment or two, but they're still being a little bit aggressive as they show up, but the PCs are here, and so, well, it's just unfortunate for the Roaches. What are you meant to do about that? The Cyclones find the Corruptors on the left side as well. What a catch by TY. As you do see the Hellions gonna get grabbed by a fungal growth, and well, it's an overload going down, a Queen or 2 going down as well. Cyclones continuing to lock onto everything possible here, but Zerglings are still dropping, and it looks as though as the Spore Crawler goes down, the Queens confusing each other up. Armani is absolutely like he's in trouble, right? I mean, Hatchet goes down the right-hand side, going to move into the main base to get some damage done as well. Nidus network out in the front from Armani. No species looking to try and get in from the side. Sure, BC's just continuing to come up. Then trying to Yamato down the hive, but that actually means he just doesn't Yamato down the Corruptors. There's 2 BCs to kill the hive. Not sure if that's really that worthwhile. I mean, imagine you Yamato the Corruptors there, you're going to kill all, you know, about half of them. That's Armani's issue. He's had to rebuild so many Corruptors this game. Now the resource difference is about 8,000 again. 23 Corruptors being the main source of that in terms of the units that have gone down here. Drops an anti-ominous. I love that TY. He's one of the only Terrans I've seen doing this, adding this one Raven later in the game. What that allows him to do is drop this anti-armor missile, which for battlecruisers is amazing because battlecruisers fire so frequently. Every single one of those very frequent shots firing off gets so much damage done. It's so much bonus damage. Hellion Cyclone down into the center. Going to see a lock onto this hatchery. That's going to get denied. It's going to be a cancel. Cyclone's just going to be able to pick off the Roxy on the left, and another Nidus worm dropping down the far left-hand side as well. So, setting up with that, as you do see, TY's on top of it. He shuts it down. There's Barracks scouting, sees it coming in, and TY's just not letting Armani go anywhere. Loca's now going to try up the front, but guess what? It's the battle cruisers again. Some of these PCs must have a crazy amount of kills on them. 18, 6, 23, 20, 23 again, 20, 23. And a lot of them have like 20 or so. They've been picking up so much throughout the game. You see why it's starting to really just push forwards now, and this is terrifying for Armani because I don't really see what he's going to do to defend it. It's an army which is really it's designed not to kind of let the town push into you. It's designed for you to make the moves, but TY's defended all the moves. It's not really moved on from that. This next style seems extremely powerful right now. Don't really seem to have much of an answer for it. There's the anti-armor missiles the BCs are looking for. Armani knows exactly what the BCs are looking for, and that's why he's running the heck away. Doesn't like the orange skin for the Zerg. I'd rather have skins turned off, thank you very much. Give me my normal corruptors back. See why controls this game right now. Hive goes down, Hatchery goes down the left, and you know, suddenly you're still mining as Armani, you've still got some income, but it's not going very far. You've got a bank as well, but TY's got a bigger bank. You're still going to try and go in with the Locusts here and there, and you know, the Locusts do okay. You know, when they actually manage to land and find a base like this, for example, that's just a straight up command center kill, but, well, there's more CCs to replace it. You know, TY's expanding like a madman because that's just what TY does. He gets money, he spends on CCs, he has more money, and then if you lose a base, it's like, well, I've got a replacement, it's ready to go. So we've seen the tank sieging up. Now that's to start pressing forwards for TY as well, starting to do some damage to the hatch, and Cyclone's starting to lock onto Overlords as well. I mean, you're really getting pushed back now as TY, as Armani. You're going to be losing this hatchery as well. And then you're going to be split between your reinforcements, right? If your units are going to come in from the left and the right, well, then you've kind of got a big Terran army between them, which actually isn't great. You're not really flanking the army as much as they're just cutting you off from reinforcing. The Infestors do find the neural parasites on a bunch of the BCs. They're going to Yamato the other BCs. Yamato's lined up with some of the Corruptors. Neurals are about to fade away. This is a good play by Armani, probably the best he's had in a while, but is it enough? Well, he's going to line up another round of Yamato cannons from the Neural BCs. He teleports them so they can't teleport away from the Corruptors, and the Brutalons start cleaning out the ground army as well. And dare I say it, but Armani has just won this fight. That was what he needed. That was the switch up he wanted. The ability to get these Infestors to Neural Parasite, and what an impact they've had on the fight. One more BC Neurals, and that means that TY is going to be having his own BC fighting against himself. Army of TY backing way up to the top side, and again, Broodlings dropping down on the missile turrets here, and other battle crews are picked off. Over this right-hand side, Zergling's still running around. We do have the Locusts going to turn towards this planetary fortress, so they're going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. SCV's trying to repair up a little bit. This will expire as we do see the Brutalons continue in towards the planetary fortress there. So, a decent job of this. Again, this is going to be another round of Zerglings surrounding the planetary. Should be able to get that kill. Momentum's definitely switched a little bit. Suddenly Armani is the aggressor. He's the one pressing forwards. TY adding a few of those forwards to help out with that, and realizing this is a defender CC or lose it. He is going to come in and get some lock-ons. The Corruptors will give up their courses and sprays. But the Broodlords are still pressing forwards until the Boars arrive. There's not really anything to deal with those Broodlords. So TY is the one losing SCVs. Much more SCVs still going down. A couple of Thors. Get the pick off on a Broodlord there as well. Another couple of Broodlings taken down as well. And on the bottom left-hand side, the BCs are going to make that play. Spine Crawler starting to go down, Hatchery being picked away at. And this base still has mining on it, so it's nice to get rid of it. TY doesn't quite get rid of it though. The main thing this is doing is it's pulling Armani away, so it gives TY a bit of room to breathe again. He needs to set up some more bases of himself. He needs to re-establish in the top right. This one did stay alive, but obviously not currently mining. Teleports out of there with the battle cruisers, so just brings those back home. And TY will approach the front with some Thors here. I'm going to be able to go in after the Nidus network, so I'll go down and cleans out some of the creep as well. I mean, Armani is still bruised and battered from earlier. You know, his creep spread is one of the biggest things I would say, where it just doesn't really have any presence at all on this map. There's a little bit up this right-hand side, and other than that, it's like, well, it's not even in front of any of the bases. So that's one thing TY definitely still has from his earlier advantages in this game. And TY still has, by the way, the better bank, actually. The 2,000 gas there is going to be invaluable for him to rebuild. Up 10 workers, and as he reestablishes bases, TY seems to still have this one under control. As long as he can get rid of this Corruptor force, which now is, a very different army composition. We've got Thors, we've got Liberators. I'm not sure what they want to do, if they want to siege or if they want to try and deal anti-air damage. Either or right now could work out. Maybe, yeah, Liberators to zone out the Infestors, because if you can zone out the Infestors, you don't get neural parasited as hard. A couple of Thors are neural right now, as we see the Broodlord still pressing forwards with this. It's going to come out of neural, but more neurals available, and they're going to die pretty quick anyways. Thors again going to go after the Corruptors, and the SCVs cannot repair that Planetary Fortress, so the Planetary Fortress will go down. Then these extra Liberators are just a bit too late. The BCs are back across the map, by the way. Yamato's down that Infestors to make sure that's going to be a nice quick kill. Going to get the hatchery, and that's quite a lot of the drones out of here too. And that's about what kills off those drones. Probably about a third of Armani's remaining economy going down. Just killing off the hatchery is good enough. Armani doesn't actually have anywhere to send those drones anyways, so BC's not going to stick around. They're going to back away and just check there's nothing in the bottom left. Wants to keep dealing damage. Corruptors decide to leave them be, so Corruptors will back away for the moment and try to go aggressive again, but then they decide not to. So that's getting picked off in the skies, not even getting a chance, and there's BC's just going to teleport back. TY's army is maxed out, and that's the issue again. TY just seems to have so much money that despite all the cool plays that Armani's been making in the last few moments, look at this, his resources lost out back to dead even, 40,000 apiece. And TY is just already mining more. Still has been mining more until those links in the top right just got rid of the few SCVs. And his network will probably go down. It looks like the Swarms are here to defend, so maybe a last stand from our Zerg player. Liberators sieged up en masse again. They want to get rid of those Infestors. That means the neural parasites aren't there. If neural parasites aren't there, this is much more concerning than before. The Broodlords are going down, which means there's nothing to deal with Thors. There's nothing to deal with the Thors. The Corruptors don't stand much of a chance either. And that's going to be pretty much GG and all she wrote. See a couple more Liberators just sieged on up. And there you have it. TY is your WESG 4th player qualified, joining Rogue, Dark, and Maru for WESG, the APAC Regional Finals.